This is Lee with 82 Game and 12, and this is going to be video 7 of my playthrough of Midway Solitaire. This is the deluxe edition of Joseph Miranda's game, and it was published by Decision Games in 2021. So, alright, so this is video 7, and let's see, the last operation was the Midway operation, and then we had we had this CV versus NIGS, which is the combined fleet versus the Naval General Staff had a disagreement, and that basically meant that the Japanese didn't do anything. So now we have reinforcement marker pulled. And since the Japanese do not have any eliminated or damaged units, this is just going to be a wasted chit and a wasted round for the Japanese, which is good for me because as the U.S. Navy, I get to get a jump on what's going on here. And possibly do some damage. So what happens is the Japanese lose opportunity to do anything, and so we jump right to G1, organizational segment for the U.S. Navy. And so I can reorganize a task force, I can create a new task force, recruit reinforcements. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I select one unit in the reinforcement box over here. Let's see what we've got. We've got fighter planes, reinforcements, and we've got bombers. And they're both land. So I'm going to go with the bombers. I could go with this. This would be a seaplane. That's what that is, seaplane. But I'm going to go with a bomber. And what happens is the bomber ends up going to, let's see, I'll put it Pearl Harbor. So that's what that did right there to Pearl Harbor. They can have update counters. Okay, so the next thing we have is can't really see that, can you? It's kind of hard to see. I know I tried to do my intelligence segment. It's kind of hard to see. Okay, so the G2 is the intelligence segment. And so I can do a naval air search. I can do a seaplane. I don't have the seaplane. I can do signals intelligence. So all Imperial Japanese carrier strike force task forces on the United States Navy side of the Japanese defense perimeter are spotted. So right down here in the Solomons, I could say this unit spotted. It's within 2. So let's see, and that's the one that would be spotted. The carrier strike force would be spotted. nose is still running. Oh, what happened here? I guess I kind of turned y'all a little bit. My apologies. So, that's going to be the only one. It's either that or pick up. I want to expose this carrier force. So this is spotted. The other two are not spotted. It's just the carrier strike force is spotted. So that's what my intelligence does. They pick up that we have a carrier strike force spotted just outside of the Solomons. So now we go to the operational segment. G3. Okay. Now, this is where I want to launch my naval carrier-based air units to conduct strikes against this spotted task force. All right, so I'll just show you. Okay, so we're at G3 operations, and we're going to do a naval operation. And what we want to do, we got to select one route, and that's going to be the Solomon route right here. Okay, so it's I'll just put these here so we know what's going on. Okay, so that's the route we're dealing with. Okay, and so I can move any of them, but I don't want to move them. Okay, that's because that's going to cause a incident marker. Okay, it says launch any in-range carrier-based naval carrier units to conduct strikes against spotted, Imperial Japanese task forces or against land bases. Okay, naval aircraft air units may also be launched to provide cap. Okay, so we can also launch cap. All right, so let's see. We've got in this task force 11. No, that's 17. We've got Yorktown and Saratoga. So we get the Yorktown, and they've got they took the dive bombers from the Lexington. Okay, so we've got fighters. Okay, what we want to do is we want to send Yorktown is going to, their fighters are going to stay as cap. Okay, so we're going to put them on the battle board. The Lexington torpedo bombers are going to go in to attack the task force, and Saratoga's sending all of these. They're sending the fighters, the Dauntlesses, and then the Douglas. So we got the dive bombers and the torpedo bombers. Okay, all going on in, and the fighter goes to the escort. Okay, say, well, what are we talking about here? Okay, we're talking about this right here, the battle board. Okay, I don't know exactly what this marker's for. This I don't know what that marker's for. Okay. So what we have is we've got this here is the attacking aircraft. Okay. Right here's the cap. And what we need to do is we need to put the spotted task force units. Let's see where they at. This is the 4th. Okay. All right. So what we have is we put the ships here. We've got the Zukikaku, Zuaho, and then the battleship Moose. Let's see, could be which one? Musaki, something like that. Moose something. And that says actually optional. That was the one that I was like, oh. So anyways, so those are the ships that we have. Okay, in that task force. Okay, so we got the cap. Okay, we got all of that. Now, okay, now what happens? Where's my chart? Okay, so what happens next is, okay, we have to conduct the Imperial Japanese reaction, okay, on the active route. Determine if there is an U.S. Navy unspotted task force within the below rank search ranges of the Imperial Japanese task force and bases. Okay, so a task force, carrier strike force, 2 hexes. Okay, so if we go back over here to the Solomons, where this is all taking place. So this is the attack here, and then this is the task force is not spotted, and it's 2 hexes away. So this is here. We'll put it like that. Okay, but this is the only one spotted. So 1, 2. So they're within range. So now what we have to do, we have to conduct searches. Okay, so we've got to roll for the search attempt. Okay, the Japanese are trying to spot my task force. Okay, 1 or 2 they spot it. No, a 3. So they do not spot the task force. Okay. No effect. Okay, so using the procedures, let's see what it says here. Outlined in 6.1.5, launch any Imperial Japanese Navy bombers and fighters units assigned to a carrier on the activated route up to their range against spotted task forces, independent naval units, or U.S. Navy controlled objective space. Okay, well, so basically there's not anything to go. So basically what's going to happen is any fighters that the Zukikaku and the Zuahu have are going to be cap. So this is going to be cap, and the Zukikaku, not the Shakaku. All right, so they're fighters. You know, I can roll, but it's all going to come down to that they're going to be capped because there's no bombers going anywhere. Okay, they don't have a target. So the zeros are going to both be cap. Okay. So now we go to the battle board to find out what's going to happen here. All right, so here we are. Let me get this light out of the way. It's causing some interference. Let's see if we can get this one done. There we go. Well, we'll scoot in here. Scoot over. Okay. So what we got going on is the United States Navy intelligence spotted the Hazuka and the Zuahu on the north side of the Solomons. And Fletcher sent out his attack aircraft for a strike. So he put the Yorktown fighters up in cap, and then the Saratoga fighters went as escort. So now with Fletcher, they get a +1 in their attack. Let's see if that's even the fighters, if they get, let's see. Oh, it's only 1. So I can designate 1 attack, not all of them, just 1. See, that's right here, and that's right here at the top here. If a USN leader is assigned to a task where that includes USN carriers, you can, at the start of the battle, designate 1 United States Navy Navy aircraft, SBD or TBD, from any one carrier. That unit has its naval combat factor increased by 1. Okay, so what do we want to do here? Okay, the naval attack factor is the middle one. Okay, so it's the 1 here, it's the 3, and if we look under here, of course that's 1, 2. So these are both the TBDs. So I think I want to get a hit. So I want to increase this one. Okay, so this one is the one we're going to increase. So let's put Fletcher by that one. Okay, so that shows that we're getting the +1 to the Saratoga SBDs. Okay. All right, so okay, the first thing we have to do with the combat okay, so we go air to air first. And I don't know, I know some other games you have the cap fight with the escort first, and then anybody that survives then attack the bombers, or you have to okay, there's this one escort here, so one of these would fight with the escorts, and that leaves the other one here, then attack bombers. And this cap here is not really, I don't need to have it on the board because they're not getting attacked. So let's put that one back. So that would be, but in this game, that's not the case. I go over here to combat. There it is. Okay, under the combat. Okay, so it says fire all air units air combat factors at enemy air units. Cap fighters may fire at attacking fighters and bombers. Attacking fighters may only fire at cap fighters. Bombers may only fire at fighters that fire on them, the bombers. So that's the first step. It doesn't really go into you gotta, the escort. Of course, if it's going to attack, has to attack cap. So he could actually fire here, but this guy could actually say, "Well, I'll just ignore the escort, and I'm just going to go after the bombers." And I think that's what these two are going to do. They're going after bombers. This guy here is going after. He's going to go after the Zukikaku, and all of this is taking place at the same time. So, here we go. So the American fighters, okay, the Saratoga fighters are going to roll, and remember they have a 3. The top number is air to air, so 3 or less. Got a 5, so they missed. Okay, and so now we have the Zukikaku and the Zuahu are both going to fire, and so okay, I rolled a 4 and a 5, so only the Zakakuku was able to get a hit. And of course, they want to go after the big gun, which is the Saratoga. So they're going to hit the Saratoga SBDs, and they get to fire back, and they have an air-to-air of 1. But with Fletcher, they get a +1. Well, I guess let's see. I think that's. Let's see, where's he at? I think that was set under combat somehow or something. It's only the naval combat. Okay, so only the naval combat is increased. So they've still got to get a 1. They got a 5, so that was a miss. Okay, so they take a hit. So that drops them down. Okay, these two are now no longer part of it. Neither is the escort. So now we have these 3 counters. Okay, but what we have to look at now is we have to look at the air-to-air factors for these units. Okay, so their anti-air is going to be the top number. Okay, so the Zukikaku is going to roll. I got to get a 3 or less. I got a 4. Okay, then the Zuaho got a 3. That's a miss. And then the Battleship got a 6. That's a miss. So they didn't get any. They didn't get any hits. So now we've got the Saratoga is going to go in here against the Zukikaku. The Lexington SBD is going to go in there, and then the Saratoga torpedo planes are going to go against the Zahu. This, remember, gets a +1. All right, so they've got to get a 3 or less. That's the middle number, is the naval combat. Got a 5, so that's a miss. Okay, the This one has to get a 1. Miss. And the last one, I got a 2. That's a miss. All right, so basically all what happened was we lost more planes. So lecture goes back, and then all of these counters go back where they belong. Of course, this Lexington goes with the Yorktown. And these go back where they belong. So that was an unsuccessful strike, resulting in lost planes. All right. Okay, so now we go to the next step, which is the logistics. And with the logistics, we repaired. We can't repair anything right now. We got a lot of eliminated units. So, okay, so that's all of that. Okay. See the reflection I get? I'll put this back on here. I don't have that reflection so bad, but I have that right there. So that's just the way it goes, I guess. All right, so that one's finished. We have our administrative phase, which means we got to turn this task force back over to unspotted. Okay, this goes in the eliminated or used played. Okay, we'll move on to the next round. And I've drawn the MI. The MI, which is the Midway. So we got the Midway operation. Okay. So then we move to the Japanese search attempt segment. Okay. All right, so we have to determine if an unspotted task force is within 3 spaces of the base, and they're not. Okay. This is Midway, so the task force, which is right here, Task Force 16 is more than 3 away from this base. 1, 2, 3. And even from, okay, there's no carrier. There's 2 spaces. Well, the carrier's at Wake Island, so no. So that, nothing happens there. So now we go to the movement segment. And of course, that's where we're going to have to pick a incident marker. So we're going to look at the Imperial Japanese movement table. So move that to there. All right, so I don't really think I'm going to be able to actually show the table and the movement. So I'm just going to show the movement. Okay, so the table over here. All right, so we're going to look at let's go with the main body first. Okay, we'll set this one here. So the main body is what we're going to roll first. Okay, so the main body, okay, rolled a 6, that's 3 spaces. So they would have to stop in this hex. Okay, so the main body goes 1, 2, 3, right there. All right. And let's see here. He's got to stop. He's got in movement when he enters a enemy controlled objective space, which is that one. Okay. All right. So now we roll for the guard. I got a 2 on the guard. They just moved 1 space. So they moved to there. Okay. Then we have back here at Wake, we've got the invasion force. Let's see what they do. It's 5. They're going to go 2 spaces. So they go with the guard. And then the carrier strike force rolled a 6. They're going to go 3 spaces. So 1, 2, 3. All right. So now we have to pull a instant marker. And it's a submarine. Okay. All right. So it's going to be the one that's out in front. I know that, which is the main body. Closest to the enemy home base on the active route. Okay, so the main body. Main body A. What do we got? Oh, we got a light carrier, Juno. We got a cruiser and a battleship. That's what we got in the main body. So let's see. The light carrier can perform anti-submarine warfare. That's the only one that can. So they would have to roll a 1 or a 2. I got a 1. So that causes that submarine to dive. Okay, so let's put these guys back. Okay, so now we have the United States reaction. Okay. All right. Now that unit, that nothing is spotted, so I can't launch. I can launch fighters, but I didn't get to do any kind of search. Why would they be? What would cause them to be see here. What would cause him to be spotted? No, I haven't had that opportunity yet. Okay, let's go back over here. So basically, all they can do is do cap. I don't know. I don't know. When would one of the task forces be during the Japanese segment? When would they be spotted? I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't see that. There's not any prior to that. It says, okay, launch carrier based bombers and fighter units against spotted task forces and island bases. Well, how can you? There's no spotted Imperial Japanese units. Okay, so basically all I'm going to be able to do is send up some fighters for, these are all bombers there. These fighters here are going to cap. So I put them on top. The rest of these guys are not. So. Okay. All right, so now they have the Japanese launch segment. Okay. And the Japanese, okay, they're going to launch against the base. Okay, so what did we have in that task force? So that task force is the first task force, carrier strike force. There's quite a few. There's 7 ships in that thing. Possible 7, possibly 7 ships. All right, so we've got a destroyer, a armored cruiser, another destroyer, a Kagi, Shakakuku, Soryu, and the Kaga. So we got 4. We've got 4. All right, so we've got there's the Shakakukus. Here's the Kagas. The Kaga. And the Soryu. Where's the Soryu at? Right here. All right, so we got a roll for all of these guys to find out what they're going to do. Okay. So let's start with We'll start with the Kagas. Okay. So air mission determination. Okay, we've got the first one here is a bomber. Okay. That's the valve, dive bomber. And let's see what it does. 2 says it's going to attack a task force, but it's going to attack the objective. Okay. There's no task force. So it's going to attack objective. So it goes to there. I'm putting it in the battle box. All right, the fighter. See what it does. 3. It's going to be cap. So it goes to cap. Okay. So we'll put it here. Ships. Cap. Okay. Next, we've got the Akaga. And I'm going to roll 2 dice. The red die will be for the bombers, the green die for the fighters, just to see what we got, so we don't waste too much time here. Okay, so it says task force, but there is no task force. It's objective. So it's basically all these, unless I roll a 1, there's no launch. So it's going to go to the objective, and 4 is going to be cap. So we've got objective and cap for those. Okay, next. Shaka Cuckoo. Same thing. Okay, so we got a 1. So it's going to be no launch on the bombers. The fighters are going to go cap. So they go cap. So this one goes here. These guys go back. Then we go to the Soryu. So 3 and 6. So okay, we got an escort. The fighter goes to escort. The bombers go to the task, the objective. Okay. And I'll put these other ships here too. Okay. All right, so when we look here at the battle board, this is what we got. I can pull back. Okay, we gotta move this back some. Okay, and let's see, the only cap we have, here's the base. I'm gonna just put it right there. And then the cap over the base. So that's what we got going on. All right, so first thing we have is we've got this escort, and the cap is going to go after, those are all cap. I don't have any attacking, so I can put these back. I don't have any attacking. So get that kind of out of the way. All right, so the Midway fighters are going to try to get in to hit some of these guys here, and they're actually going to go after the Kagas while this fighter here is going there. So let's roll to see what happens. Midway Soryu. Okay, so the Soryu gets a hit on the Midway cap, and the Midway cap misses, so they don't get any of the bombers. So now this guy's basically these, we can put these back. Well, no. He gets fired on by this Kaga now, who has a 2. Got a 5, okay. So he does go back. We can put Soryu fighters back. Okay, now we just go in with the anti-aircraft. So Midway has a 4. So 4 or less, they can get a hit on somebody. Got a 3, so they get a hit. We're gonna hit the Kaga valves. Okay. So is that what we want to do? Yeah. All right. So now they get to attack Midway with they're going to attack with the bottom number here. Make sure I get this right. Yeah, air to ground. We don't have air to ship. Okay, so the Kaga. Let's get my green thing here. Okay, bombers. Okay, they got a 2 or less. Got a 5. Was a miss. Okay, now we go Kaga. They got a 6, so they missed. And the Soryu, it's a 3, and they missed. So they were unsuccessful. Akagi and Kaga. All right, so then we go to the surface engagement. So Midway has a 2 against naval units. And we'll start with the cruiser. Okay, has a 2 against ground. So basically a 2 and a 2. Okay, so the Japanese are able to make some damage to the Midway. And they missed. And then we have the 2 destroyers. They each have a 1. And they both miss. Alright, so Midway is now damaged. And they can only have 3. The 3 in parentheses over here on the right hand side is the number of aircraft counters. So they're going to lose some aircraft counters. Okay, so what we have is we've got the fighters, and then we want to keep that one and that one. I guess we're going to lose these 2. Okay. I guess they just go to the eliminated box. So that's a big loss. Wait a minute, we got that. I can't be doing that. These guys don't get to fire. They're not. What am I doing? These guys don't get to do that. So I got to bring that back. Okay, let's do this again because these guys are not close enough. Okay, so they're not even at Midway. Okay, it's going to be the main body. Okay, which means I didn't have Juno's aircraft. Where are they at? I didn't have them come in. What do we got here? Fighter and a bomber. Well, let's see what they're actually going to do. They're both not going to fly, I guess. Well, no, the fighter would still go as Cat, but no launch on the bombers. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Okay. So what we have here, I'll bring these over here. We've got a battleship and a cruiser. Okay. And so let's roll for battleship would be red, cruiser would be green. That's going to be 2 hits. That's going to destroy Midway. And Midway gets 1 fire back. They've got to have a 2 or less. They got a 4. Okay, so Midway's base is destroyed, which means all the planes are destroyed with it. And I guess that flips to the Japanese. They don't have landed anybody, but I don't have anybody there, and they do. So, yeah. Wow. Lost all these bombers and these fighters. That's the big loss there. Okay, those 2 go back to the main body. Big time loss. Big time loss there at Midway. So we go to morale, no effect, the logistics. I think we do have, let's see. Yeah, we do have some planes that are damaged now. Okay, so the Kaga, okay, so automatic only if the carrier is repaired. Oh yeah, reduced air unit. Okay. All right, so right here, we've got a reduced air unit. Okay, we've got the Kaga here. Okay, it's reduced. So if I roll a 5 or a 6, they get to be repaired. I rolled a 2, so no, they don't. Okay. All right. All right, so now we go to the United States. Okay, we can remove all this. All right, so the United States goes to G1 organization segment. Oh, so I can reorganize the task force, which I've already done. Create a new task force. Replace a naval aircraft. No. Place a land aircraft. Select one land aircraft from the United States Naval Eliminated Units display and place it at full strength at Pearl. Yeah. Okay. So, what do we want here? Midway, do we want the fighters? Do we want bombers? I think I want some bombers. Let's see, what's the best bomber? A B-17. PBY. I think I'm going to do the PBY. I'm going to place it in Pearl Harbor. Okay, so I'll place that PBY in Pearl Harbor. Put that off there. All right, so that's the logistic or the organizational. Now we go to the intelligence segment. Okay, and here, naval air search. Okay. I'm going to do the signals intelligence. Okay. Okay. All Imperial Japanese Navy carrier strike force task forces on the United States side of the Japanese defense perimeter are spotted. Okay. So, if we look here, this is the defense line, the dotted line. That means this task force is spotted. Okay, flip it over. And then this one down here is spotted again. So it's spotted. Okay, so now we move to organization. Let's see, operation segment. Okay. So on one route, this is what we're going to do. Up here, we are going to attack this right here is where all those carriers are at. And we got spruance there, so that's a +1. So we're not going to move. We're just going to attack. So we've got the Hornet and the Enterprise. So we got that and that. All right. So let's pull back. Okay, we're not moving. So we're going to launch in range. They have a range of 2. So that's within range. All right, so we're going to send them all. We're not having any cap. So we're going to send them all. They're all going to escort. The fighters are going to escort. And the bombers are going to attack the task force. So I put them down here on the battle board. Come on. There we go. Down there. Okay, so now we have the Japanese reaction to this. Okay. So then we do Imperial Japanese reaction on the active route. Determine if there is a United States unspotted task force within the below search ranges. A base? No. Well, yeah. Well, they haven't. No, they don't have a base yet there yet. Um, but a task force within 2 spaces of a task force. So 2 spaces, 1, 2. So we got to roll to see if they find them. Okay. 1 or 2, the task force is found. Oh, it's a 1. Uh-oh. Spruance gambled, and they're spotted. Should have kept some cap, but he didn't. Okay. All right. So, we got Spruance here. We got put the ships here. Oh, I do have a seaplane right there. I got a seaplane with that task force. So we got the Hornet and Enterprise. And let's see here. Okay. Okay. What's a Juno doing here? Juno's with the main body, right? Yeah. But they can also Juno can also send planes besides this task force here. Okay, so let's pull back down here to the battle board. Oops. All right, so we got the Soryu, Shakakuku, Akaga, and the Kagi with the cruiser, armored cruiser. We got a destroyer and a destroyer, so that's all what we got. So then we have all these planes. So we have the Shakakuku's planes. We got the Akagi. We got the Kaga. Who else do we have? Soryu. Okay. And we've got the Juno. Okay. They've got their planes. All right. So let's start with we'll start with the Juno. Okay. We got a 3 and a 1, so the fighters are not gonna. They're gonna go cap over the Juno, but the bombers are gonna go into the task force. Okay, so they're attacking. Okay, so next we go with the Shakakuku, a 3 and a 5. That's escort. So that's going to be escort, oops, and attack task force. Okay, the Kagi 5 and 6. It's all going to be task force. There is no objective now. And 6 is escort. So we've got, again, we've got attack and escort. It's a big, we got a big carrier battle going on here. Okay, the Kaga, 6 and 4. 4 is what? Cap. Okay, so the Kaga goes to cap. The bomber goes to objective. I'll just put it in there. And now the Soryu, 5 and 2. So we've got cap. And we've got, attack. Okay. All right, so now what we have to do is we've got to have the air-to-air combat. So these two are escorts. Okay. So they're escorting. All right, so we're going to roll them first. Okay, against these cap. Okay, they're going to attack the cap. All right. And here we've got SBD. Okay, we got 2 SBDs and 2 Dauntless. And these fighters are going to go attack. Are going to attack these 2 dive bombers. So we'll do this first. Okay, so the top one is red. I'm just going, so we've got green and red here. Just on the dice, that's just for me. All right, so we got a 6 and a 5. That's both going to be misses. So the fighters missed. Okay. All right. Now, these guys get to attack. Okay. So a 4 and a 1. So we've got a 5 as a miss, but we have a 1 here. And let's see, I'm going to have this, Spruance is going to go with the Enterprise. He's going to add 1 to the Enterprise. I'll tell you what, he's going to add 1 right here to the SBD, TBD. Okay, so we got a hit. So this one has to flip over, but they get to return fire. Well, both of them, they got fired at. So they both get to return fire, and they both miss. But this unit is hit. All right, so I can get rid of these escort planes. Put them back up here, Hornet and Enterprise. And I can get rid of these cap planes. Kaga and Soryu. Okay. Kaga, Soryu. All right. So now we have the attack on, well, no, we got anti-aircraft fire. Okay. So let's start here. They both have 2s. Okay. Top's red. So we got red, green. Just helps me. Oh, 2 hits. Okay, so they are going to take out the Enterprise SBDs. Those are eliminated. And hit the other Hornet, the Hornet's SBDs. Okay. Then we have here 5 and a 1. That takes out the rest of the SBDs. Okay, now we go up here. All right. 4 and a 2. That takes care of one of these guys. That's eliminated. The Spruance is back. We got one destroyer left. He got a 6, so he missed. All right, so tell you what, I just got slaughtered here. I got a Hornet torpedo who's going to be going in for the, oh, why not just do the Kaga? And I've got to get a 1. I got a 2, so that's a miss. All right, so that's the only plane that's going to return besides the fighters. Okay, so now the Japanese go in to attack my ships. They've got these escorts, but escorts aren't needed, so I can put them back. There's no cap. And so now these guys are coming in. Let's just move them in here a little closer. And these guys get to fire anti-aircraft. So there we go. All right, I got one hit. So let's see, we're going to flip that one. All right, then we have this one and this one. 6 and a 4 is a miss. And the last one is a miss. All right, so now we've got these guys going in. All right, so let's just say he's going into the Hornet. The Hornet, we just ignore these other guys. Okay, the rest of these guys are hitting the Enterprise. Okay, so up here, all right, we need they're going to have at least a 2 or a 3 at the top. 2, okay, you got a 3 red, that's a miss, but the 2 on the green, Soya got a hit. So the Hornet takes a hit, and then we have to roll over here to find out what type of hit it is. Right. Where's that at? Or maybe they just go straight to the damage box. Let's see here. Oh, ought to be here on my combat chart. Yeah. Okay, so no, it's not. Okay, let's go over here. Come on, kind of slanted here. What's the deal? Okay. Oh, no wonder I was looking at that. I was looking at that chart wrong. Okay, let's go over here. Okay. All right. So that's why there's no submarine on here. No wonder. Okay. All right. All right. So what you're doing here is that the unit type is going to be um, the unit that's getting hit. So that's why there's no submarine. So we got to go over here to the, let's see, INJ attacking U.S. naval. Okay, so yeah. So the Hornet was hit. Okay, so we got to roll right here to find out what happened. All right, so we roll. There's going to be something. Oh, I got a 6. All right, so the Hornet is sunk. And her planes with her. So, all right, so the Hornet sunk, and down go the planes. Okay. All right. All right, so that takes care of the Hornet. And then we go right here against the Enterprise. We'll do this, and this. So we got red is 1, green is 2, so that's 2 hits. And then we have the Kaga. Oh, that's a fighter. Okay, so that fighter's... what happened here? Did I have the thing wrong? This wrong? No? Yeah? What happened? No, he would come on in. I got the wrong one. I flipped the wrong one. I think. That was the Kaga was already injured. So, should be here. There we go. All right. So, got to roll a 3. Got a 6. Okay, so 2 hits. So now the Enterprise takes 2 hits. So we go back over here. Okay. And we roll. See what we get. I got a 3 and a 1. And so it goes to damage. So the Enterprise goes to the U.S. damage units. So I've got the Hornet sunk. Enterprise and Lexington are both damaged and out of commission. So the Task Force 16 is basically toothless. And down here in Task Force 17, I've got planes in Yorktown and Saratoga, and that's it. Down here in the Solomons. But talking about heading to Pearl Harbor and the West Coast, I'm in big trouble. So we go to the logistics. And I can't repair any naval units. They're not at Pearl Harbor or the West Coast. I can't repair any naval aircraft because they're not at Pearl Harbor or West Coast. And I don't have any reduced aircraft at any location. Okay. And I can't repair a base. I don't have, the bases were eliminated. So things don't look good. It all depends on if the Japanese are able to push. Uh, Also, I didn't. I got this plane at Wake, this bomber at Wake that I didn't use right here. I should have rolled for right there. They would have went to attack the. That's five. They're five away. I would have had to roll to see what they would have done, but it wouldn't have mattered. I mean, we've already. Only thing left we got is those others. I rolled a 6. Land bomber. Well, they would attack the task force, but oh well. I didn't. I didn't send it. Um, so I've lost. Basically, I've lost 3 carriers. 1 sunk, both 2 damaged. Task Force 16 is going to have to go back to at least Pearl Harbor. Same thing with Task Force 11 down here. So that's where we're at. We don't know what's going to be drawn next turn. I didn't use the intelligence to determine that. I used that to turn over these task forces, which are going to be flipped back now. It's all of them are flipped over to their not spotted side. So that's going to be the end of that. And then if we look over here, this here is the eliminated box, not the damaged, but the eliminated box right here. Can't even see it. There it is. So I've got 2 bases eliminated, Solomon's and Midway, and I've lost the Hornet and all these planes. Hasn't been very good on my part. I've had some unfortunate rolls, I guess. Of course, I got to put these guys back. So that was, let's see, that's what, 3? Yeah, just like, not exactly the carriers, but so they had 3 normal carrier, no, 4 carriers, not light, but all 4 large carriers. Soyu, Shakakuku, Akagi, and Akaga. Wow. Putting a hurt on me. And then we also had Juno was involved because they're with the main body. And let's see. I didn't lose that many. Didn't really lose that many planes. I took a couple of hits. But oh no, the Junos run. Okay, they're over here. And so the Shakakuku and the Akagi. Okay. So haven't had any movement up there on the Aleutian Islands. But things don't look good. I've got 2 carriers, and they're both down here in the Solomons. The only way to get up to Midway is go back through New Caledonia, Samoa, and get to Pearl. So things are not looking too good. Just got my hat handed to me. So it's just all going to be the luck of the draw here to determine, what happens. Midway, you get a couple of Midway pulls. They could steamroll right to Pearl Harbor. They still got to go to the Aleutians. But they could take Pearl. Wonder why they got to go to Aleutians before they can get to the West Coast. It seems like you could just go straight from the Pearl Harbor to West Coast. Home base. So if they take Pearl Harbor, it's over. If they take New Caledonia, it's over. They take, So, Well, I could, that's all I can do is try to return back to Pearl Harbor. And to repair, and I can only repair one at a time. And I've still got to roll to see if I repair it. So, yeah. This is tough. I really needed 3 carriers up there. Should have had I guess the Saratoga should have went up the Task Force 16 maybe. So, all right, well, we'll see what happens in the next video. I'm going to stop this one right here. Say goodbye to Frankie, Little Frank, and Mum. And this is Lee with 82 Game and 12. And this is video 7 over Midway Solitaire, the deluxe edition, designed by Joseph Miranda and published by Decision Games. I appreciate your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.